Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel and blind reviews. So today I'm going to be reviewing Sparrows in the Wind by Gail Carson Levine, and a very important author in my reading journey. I do talk about that in this video, but I'll also talk about it in another video. Actually that other video, never mind, I talked about it in another video because that video will be out by the time you see this one. So I missed the dates. Before I let you go, I do give a content warning in the video, so please pay attention to that. But before I let you go to the video, consider subscribing to my channel and turning on notifications so you're aware when I release videos, usually about 3 to 4 times a week. Also, check out my writing. My blog will be linked in the description, as well as this review. If you want something more structured than me talking about it and you just want to read my review on it, I will link the review, the post I did on this. Also, you can pre-order the first volume in my fantasy series, Child of Death. I will leave the links below in the description. But Daughter of Death follows Vivian, who, after 8 years of not being discovered, finally is discovered by the mortal realm. She is a half-deity, a daughter of a ruler of the dead, and a mortal woman. Now she and her unusual family has to adjust to this new change. So if the premise interests you, you can find the book on Smashwords, Apple, Kobo, and Barnes & Noble. So if you're interested, that's where you can find it. If you would like to read my book early, you are able to. Currently, I am running a pre-sale on only available on Barnes & Noble. I'm sorry, not Barnes & Noble. I am very tired. Okay, on Smashwords. It's currently only available on Smashwords, and this pre-sale will be available until the release date of the book, December 26, 2023. So yeah, if you want to read it early, that's kind of how you can do that. Also, you can find the book and all the retailers I mentioned for 99 cents. So thank you for considering reading my book. If you have the time and option to do so, if you're participating in the pre-sale, since my book hasn't been released, please consider writing out a review. Reviews are very helpful to authors. But thank you so much for considering reading my book, and enjoy the video. So, another debut author to review. Well, really, this author is not like debut as in this is their first book. More like this is the first book I'm reviewing in the channel. I have some history with this author. Let me give you some fun background before we get into the review. So as you can see from the title, I am reviewing Sparrows in the Wind, which came out last year in 2022. Let me see what Goodreads says. It's open, so... Oh, it's not showing me. Weird. Okay, I do remember seeing that it came out sometime in 2022. So I think October. I think I read October 2022. So I have some interesting history about it. Maybe I'll tell the story, I think, in a video at some point. Maybe in my next filming session. But basically, before I became an avid reader, I enjoyed stories, but not enough that I wanted to be reading as constantly as I do. So it's not enough where I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna read. You know, it wasn't like that. It was more like, yeah, after I got into it, I enjoyed it. The problem was physical books, basically, right? So that was basically the problem. I'll explain some other time, but let's just say reading Braille books is a nightmare because of the way that they're set up. So when I was 13 and I had access to my first computer, the first book... stop. Oh, let me mute her while I'm mad. Actually, no. When I had access to my first laptop, the first book I basically downloaded was Ella Enchanted before the summer kind of left. It was the one book I read throughout the summer over and over and over and over and over. And basically, since I was reading e-readers, I was more into the idea of reading. So yeah, Gail Carson Levine got me into reading, everybody. Isn't that great? I love it. They got me into reading with Ella Enchanted. So I'm super happy to be reviewing this book now. Sparrows in the Wind, though. Let's talk about that. This latest novel from Newbery Honor author Gail Carson Levine about two princesses battling against their fates in the middle of the Trojan War is a must read for anyone who loves Greek mythology or the Percy Jackson books. First of all, I love Greek mythology, and second of all, Percy Jackson is one of my favorite series. Cassandra, a princess of Troy and follower of Apollo, is delighted when the god himself appears to her. Apollo asks to love her in exchange for giving her future sight, and she agrees, but recoils when he kisses her. Enraged, the god transforms his gift into a curse. Cassandra's visions will never be believed. After horrifying images of coming war and death pour into her mind, and with no one to heed her warnings, Cassandra risks her safety again and again to avert the disaster awaiting Troy. But it will take years and the friendship of an Amazon warrior princess named Reen for Cassandra to find hope of success in reversing the course of the war. With heroines to cheer for and nail-biting adventures, Newbery Honor-winning author Gail Carson Levine once again transports her readers, so it does say her, so I guess I can say her, transports her readers, this time to ancient Troy, where princesses, even cursed ones, will stop at nothing to shape their fate. So, let's see. For the most part, I love this story. I mean, the writing is phenomenal. Like, the writing is phenomenal. I enjoyed it. The prose is really, really good. I think, well, the way that the story is written is different from what I'm used to or remember from her specifically. So she has the story separated into two parts. So the first part is Cassandra, and then the second part is Reen. So we get both their point of views. However, while I enjoyed the story because I think it was kind of interesting, I probably would have, I personally would have preferred what she did for her book Ever, where she just had, I don't remember if it was separated into parts, but what I do remember is that each chapter followed a different point of view. It was, I think the names were Kizzy and Olus. I think those were the character names, if I remember correctly. Keep in mind that I read this book when I was probably like 16, the one I'm just talking about. So my memory of it is it's a little bit hazy, but I do remember kind of enjoying Ever. I probably would have liked what she did for Ever, where it's that she had like the chapters separated between their point of views. But instead, we have different parts separated. And while I think it benefited the story, it also, for me specifically, kind of made it very it made it kind of, there was a part of the story that didn't kind of work out for me. And before I continue, I do want to give a bit of a content warning for in the book. There is a scene where Cassandra attempts suicide. So there's a little bit of, there's a scene of that, so be aware if you read. But basically, oh god, okay. So yeah, the way that it's written kind of, I think, makes the story suffer just a teeny tiny bit. So one thing to note is that the first part is in past tense, and then the second part is in present, from what I remember. And the thing is that changing tenses in writing can work, but there needs to be a reason for it. At least for me. this is a me thing. There, as a reader, there should be a reason for it. And Gail Carson Levine does not have a reason to change the tenses that I can see. Um, so it makes it so like a really good example where tenses constantly change is Half Sick of Shadows by Laura Sebastian. Linked below. I reviewed the book. But basically Half Sick of Shadows uses, I think it's, yeah, present, and I'm pretty sure it also uses future tense, but I'm pretty sure it does. But the reason it changes, though, the point, the time is depends on what's happening in the story. So it switches to past tense when it talks about what was her name? Oh, I don't remember her name. I don't remember the character name. Oh God, I hate that I don't remember. And I know what this is about. It's an Arthurian reimagining, but I just can't remember um the name of um of I can't remember her name right now. So we're just gonna say our main character. So when it talks about the past in our main character's life, it talks it's in the past tense. So we see the past tense, for example, for her childhood. For we also see it for her teenage years, and then in present time is basically what they're doing in the present, which is, whatever they need to do to get what's that called, to get Camelot into Arthur's rule. And then future tense talks about her visions. So there is a reason for the different tenses, but for this book I did not find one that would work. So that's like one of those things. Another thing that it also affects is the romantic plotline. In most Gail Carson Levine books I've read, there is always a romantic plotline, and I usually love them. Um, but the way it's written, we don't really get to see that romance develop really well. I'm gonna talk about the romance later, but basically, we don't really get to see the romance develop really well. So to me, it feels like the last minute decision made the. I mean, there was one, like for one romantic party, it was really obvious. For the other one, it just felt kind of strange to me. I don't know. And in the last minute decision that Cassandra makes, or the ending decision that Cassandra makes, feels, it doesn't, it just doesn't feel right because I didn't get all that I needed. Like that's the thing, I didn't get all that I needed. So the pacing is good. It builds up most events pretty well. It's a slow paced story, but not like super super slow. So it kind of works for that. Um, the themes of friendship and love are very strong in this story. Not disappoint. Not I was not disappointed with that because Gail Carson Levine always kind of makes really strong, um, very strong themes of that. So love it. I love it. What else? What else? What else? Oh yes, characters. I think they're mostly good. They're mostly good. Some of these. The thing I will say about Gail Carson Levine, at least for this book, I think I can't be sure of the others until I fully read them. Although I would have to reread them again. But I don't think all of the characters are like this in Gail Carson Levine books. But I know in this one, the characters didn't necessarily feel one dimensional, but they did feel two dimensional. So it didn't feel, they felt kind of like super well developed to a point, but also not not at the same time, not at least not in this book. So it doesn't, I don't know, I have mixed feelings on the characters. Like it felt two dimensional but not three dimensional. So it felt kind of okay. So the romance between Eurus, I think is how you pronounce it, and Cassandra. I normally like Gail Carson Levine's plotline, romantic plot lines. But for this one, I have mixed feelings. I liked it in the end. I kind of knew they were gonna get together. It's really obvious to see which Gail Carson Levine characters are gonna get together. It's fine. I kind of liked that. But there definitely was a scene that made me really uncomfortable. And there was kind of lead up to it because she started crushing on yours. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's just a little girl's crush and they'll leave it alone. It's fine. And then, while Cassandra didn't understand and was kind of oblivious to understanding, which makes sense considering her obliviousness to Apollo, he was planning to, Eurus was basically was bringing up the idea of marriage to her. He was basically planning to propose to her. Why did I feel uncomfortable? She was 14. I mean, yeah. Yes, this is ancient Troy, and you know, things can happen. People maybe get married, but the usual customary, I think, age is like 17, it seems. So yeah, that happens, but Gail Carson Levine, no. 14-year-olds in a god that could be like 200 years old. That's uncomfortable. That's too close to pedophilia to me. I didn't like it. I was really uncomfortable. Oh, the one thing I forgot to mention, the world building was very good. It was very crisp and very lived in. But overall, those are my thoughts. Have you read Sparrows in the Wind? Did you enjoy it? Have you read any books by Gail Carson Levine? I like to talk about this in the comments if you have. I rated this 4 stars mainly because I was a little bit uncomfortable by this romance, but also because there were things I just couldn't ignore. So 4 stars from me, but that's not bad. So yeah, not bad at all. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's all I have for this review. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I'm hoping to review more Gail Carson Levine books. As I said, she is a very important author in my reading journey. So I hope to read more from the author and review them in the channel. So yeah. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy my content. Also, let me know what you think in the comments. Turn on notifications so you're aware when I release videos, which is usually 3 to 4 times a week. Check out my writing. My blog is in the description, or you can pre-order, as well as, by the way, this post. Or you can pre-order my book with the first volume in the fantasy series Child of Death, called Daughter of Death, which follows Vivienne, who, after 8 years of not being discovered, finally is discovered by the mortal realm, which is not ideal. She is a half deity, the daughter of a ruler of the dead and a mortal woman. Now she and her unusual family has to adjust to this new change. If the premise interests you, you can find my book on Smashwords, Apple, Kobo, and Barnes & Noble. So you can find it there. I will link them in the description. So I will link the pages so you can search for it there. Also, if you do want to read my book early, I am currently running a pre-sale only available on Smashwords. So the pre-sale will be available until the book's release date, December 26, 2023. So take advantage of it if you would like to read it early. In all the retailers I mentioned, you can find my book for 99 cents. So yeah, consider buying it if you are up for it. If you have the option to and the time to do so, please consider leaving a review of my book. If you participate in the pre-sale, as it has yet to be released according to the schedule where at the time this video is coming out. So since it has not been released, I'm just asking for that if it's possible for you to do so. And yeah, thank you so much for considering checking out my book and any of my content. And with that, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, and until next time, consume stories. Bye.